We are now at the fifth round of the FIDE World Cup 2021. It's a very important round because after this, whoever wins moves into the last 8 quarterfinals. And also, they get a direct entry into FIDE Grand Prix. So, a lot is at stake here. And Vidit Gujrathi, the only Indian surviving, was facing Vasif Durarbayli from Azerbaijan. Now, Wasif has played really well in this tournament. He has eliminated Nawara. He also beat Nodirbek. He's in great form, but so is Vidit. So the game starts off with one d4. Vidit has the white pieces. Durarbeli has black. He goes d5, c4, c6, the Slough defense, knight f3, knight f6. And here Vidit chooses a very interesting line. He takes. Now, what I had been taught until now is that if you want to play the exchange Slough, you should do it here and put bishop on f4 because you don't want to commit your knight to f3 too soon. But clearly, Vidit did not agree with this and he had a new idea in mind after knight c3, knight c6, bishop f4. His opponent played the move a6. Now, there's another main move here which is bishop f5 and I'm sure Vidit had some ideas prepared here as well. a6, knight jump to e5 in this position, and this is quite a rare move. You don't see it in too many games. Queen b6, attacking this pawn on b2. Vidit took on c6. B takes c6. If you take with the queen, then rook c1 is just going to get you another tempo. And if you take on b2, that's not going to work because of knight a4. And I save all my pieces and I'll be a piece up. So b takes c6, queen d2. And guys, you know who played this before with it? It was Adiban who played it in 2019 World Blitz Championship against Viktor Lasnishka. Okay, so Durarbeli first attacked the bishop and said, please move. Vidit said, I need to keep my bishop pair. He went to e3. The knight came back. A subtle draw offer, but of course Vidit is not going to repeat. He wants to press with the white pieces. So he played the move a3. a3 in general is a useful move. You take this, at some point the b4 square in under control and a useful idea. But I think he underestimated Black's next plan, which was knight to g4. Now, if you play the normal move bishop f4, there comes e5. Very powerful move. You can't take with the pawn as queen takes f2 hangs. And if you take with the bishop, then after knight takes e5, d takes e5, rook b8. We reach a similar position in the game, but without the weaknesses on g5 for black. So here, I mean, if you play b4 like in the game, then d4, first a5, b5 and d4, and there is no weaknesses on the king side. You will see that black is much better here. So with it went bishop g5, good move, e5, and now h3. So the knight has to now attack. If it moves away, then you can just win the pawn. So therefore he had to attack with f6. You can't attack with h6 because then hg4 opens up the rook. So he played f6. Now took the knight, fg, and de5. So you see the similar position, but with these pawns here. And now black went rook b8. Very good move by Durarbeli, because if you play bishop takes g4, then after e3, black is already in trouble because white is just developing his pieces. He has knight a4 ideas, and overall the structure is much better for white. He has h file, maybe bishop d3. So very good move now was rook b8, attacking the pawn on b2. Here I believe that Vidit would play knight d1, cementing his b2 pawn and attacking g5. But then after bishop e7, I believe Vidit did not like his position here, although he can still fight for an advantage with e4 in this position, and the game still is slightly better for white. However, Vidit decided to play b4. This is very direct, and black managed to now generate counterplay with a5. Vidit went b5 here. If you take here, you're already lost after knight takes d5. Therefore, you have to push knight e4 and now cb5. Queen b5 was also a good idea actually, because after queen d4, you have this very nice move bishop a3, and you can't take the bishop because of queen b2 check followed by queen e4 would hang in some lines, rook would hang. So that was a good idea, bishop queen takes b5, but he took cb5, natural. He wants to use this as a passer. Queen takes g5, and now came a blunder. In fact, we were thinking that Durarbayli would go b4 and the game would continue, but he went h6, and it was a big surprising moment. I would like you to pause the video and figure out how to win here as white. Notice that both Durarbayli and Vidit did not find this idea. So it's not easy. Well, knight d6 is check is the right move. Moving the king does not help. You just play queen g6 and this king is going to be mated soon. So bishop d6 makes a lot of sense. Now if you play queen takes g7, then bishop f8, queen h8 and b4, and black has counterplay and he's equal here. So the move is over here, not queen g7 but queen g6 check, taking advantage of h6 move. And it's very difficult to see it and easy to miss because the queen is controlling g6 for now. This small check and the bishop coming in between and then checking with the queen is the reason why this is possible. And after e takes d6, white is winning here because the rook will swing over from h3 to f3. It's over. So h6, queen f4, bishop e6 was played. And now Vidit found this good idea, which was like, I need to castle now. So let me get my bishop out. He played g3, b4, bishop g2 move. And now the game is heating up. Black king is slightly weaker. White king is going to be castled and safe, but black has this strong pawn. And b takes a3, I thought was very good for Vidit after here rook c1. Rook can come here. There are knight f6 ideas. Bishop will be watching here. So this would have been better for Vidit. But again, Durarbayli found the best move b3. And here knight d6 was played by Vidit. Well, castle could have been better. b2. The main point of b2 is not that you want to queen, but also taking the c1 square under control. And after rook a b1, bishop takes a3. Here the position that we were looking at is this one in the live commentary, and it seems like black is around equal, but it's a complicated position. Anything can happen in the game. When Vidit played knight d6 directly, black didn't have to lose any moves and he could directly take it. E d6 and now b2, good move. Rook b1. Of course, notice that you cannot play bishop a2 here because after rook takes b2, queen takes b2, bishop c6 check, king d8. I would like you to pause this video and figure out how does white win here. Well done if you found the move queen to g5 check. Take is forced and then I just chop this off and it's a mate. So right now too early to play bishop a2. In fact, the only move to keep advantage for black was queen c5 and Durarbayli found it instantly. I really loved this phase of the game where Durarbayli found one good move after another. Queen c5, very strong. Castles by Vidit. Rook f8, excellent move. Pushing the queen away. King f7, beautiful. Again, the king is well placed here because it can go to g8 and not on d7. Rook d1, bishop a2, again a nice move, d7. And here I think it was very important to understand, and which Vidit did, that b1 is not really a threat. After rook b1, bishop b1, rook b1, queen b1, white is the one who is slightly better. So that's the reason why it was important to keep calm and go king g8. Again, a great move. Now Vidit is running out of ideas because his d pawn is slightly weak and you can't take on d4 because then b1 queen is a very strong move and you will lose material. So that's the reason why Vidit went queen g6 with the idea of bishop e4 and trying to attack. But rook b6, again a great move. Queen e8, and again a nice move, rook e6. Queen had only square, which was to go to h5. He took, on takes. And now black has a huge advantage. So he has to just find one move here. What would you play here as black? Yeah, as we still know, b1 is not good. This time not for this time for some other reasons, because after take there is bishop d5 here. Also rook b1 is very strong and white is better. So not to queen instantly, but rook d6. If you found this move fantastic, you not only defend your pawn, you're also attacking d7. If bishop e4, then here I go rook b8. And if you play bishop f5, trying to defend this d7 pawn, I have this move d3. Bishop d3 has to be taken, and now rook d7. And black will win this because his b2 pawn will net him some material. But Durarbayli thought I can go rook d8 as well, because I'll take this. My rook is attacking e2. What's the problem? Well, Vidit found the problem. White to play. What do you do here? Rook takes d4. Brilliant move by Vidit Gujrathi. Because now, you might think b1 queen is coming, but Vidit had it all under control. He took the queen and now pinned this. This was very alert to take the pawn on d4. And now what has happened is after king f7, Vidit managed to give up a piece but gain 3 pawns for it. And this is more than sufficient to hold a draw. The rest of the game, Vidit easily held it. King f3, rook c2. And I mean, no one was going to win this because both sides have enough counterplay. Check, rook here takes, and after bd5, Durarbayli offered a draw, which Vidit accepted, and the players drew their first game. What a game this was! And of course, both players played amazingly well. Both players made mistakes, but also they found some great moves. Kudos to Vidit and Durarbayli. This is turning out to be a very exciting match. Second game, now Vasif will have the white pieces, Vidit will have black. We'll see what happens. I leave you with a few pictures taken by Anastasia Korolkova and Eric Rosen from the venue. This one I loved a lot, which is black and white. I mean, with it, coming back from almost being dead there. Beautiful picture by Eric Rosen. This one is with it focusing really hard, even harder, got into big trouble. And this is Durarbayli Vasif there thinking for his game. Well, I hope you enjoyed this game. I loved it. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.